Good afternoon, everybody. I hope y'all are doing great. Hope you had a chance to go and watch the tutorial that I put out yesterday on the game day graphic for Magnolia West. Today we're going to be doing a short tutorial on the logo sting for Bear Branch Athletics. We're going to be utilizing Adobe Photoshop, Adobe After Effects, and Adobe Premiere. Uh, in After Effects, we're going to be using a plugin by videocopilot.net. It's called Saber. So if you go to the internet and you type in videocopilot.net, it'll bring this up. Now, this is a plugin website ran by a guy named Andrew Kramer. Andrew Kramer is one of the most widely respected After Effects visual artists in the world. He also provides all of his tutorials for free. So if you go up here and click on tutorials, there's everything starting from particle effects, and you can go all the way back down to when he first started at the very most basic level of After Effects tutorials down here with a basic sky replacement. And all of those are free, which is a great resource. He also puts out different plugins. You can come over here and look. He's got Flight School. He's got just all kinds of particle effects, jet strike, which is airplanes and stuff like that. But the one we're going to be using today is called Saber. So if you go over here to free plugins and you go to Saber plugin, it'll take you to this page right here. And you can come over here to the right hand side and click on download Saber for Windows or download Saber for Mac if you're a Mac user, and it'll start the download. And then once it's downloaded, you open up the folder and click on install, and it'll basically walk through the process for you. Now, keep in mind that this is a plugin for After Effects. It will not work if you just have Premiere. But like I said the other day, Adobe has waived the Creative Cloud fee for the next 2 months. So if you go and register with Adobe, you can download all of the Creative Suite programs for free. This includes After Effects, Photoshop, Premiere, Dreamweaver, Illustrator, all of them. So that's an awesome deal. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing that you need to do is we need to go into Photoshop, and here is the logo for Bear Branch Junior High. So what we're going to do is we're going to divide this logo into two parts. So the way that we're going to do that is you come over here to the left-hand side on your toolbar, and you click on the magic wand tool with your right mouse button. That'll open up the alternative panel, and click on your magic wand tool if it's not already selected. So then you're going to zoom in a little bit, and we do that with Control Plus. And we're going to select only the red outline. So you just click on that, and it selects only the red outline. Now, we're going to go ahead and put it on its own layer. So we're going to go Edit, Cut, and we're going to go ahead and create a new file that we can just put the outline on. So we're going to go to File, New. We're going to go ahead and come over here, and our width needs to be the same as our project file that we just pulled it from. So that's 1920 by 1080. Make sure that it's on pixels. You want it to be a resolution of 300, and you want your background contents to be transparent. Click on Create. It'll create a blank canvas, and you go Edit and Paste. Okay. Now you do want to make sure that's relatively in the same spot. We can fix it in After Effects, but you want to get it somewhat close. So that should be pretty close. Here, make sure you push Enter so it locks it in. So that's pretty close. Okay, so now we're just going to save it. So we'll go File, Save As, and make sure you save it as a PNG because that will preserve the transparency of the background. If you save it as a JPEG, you'll have a big white rectangle around it. I have already saved it on here, but we were going to save it as BBJH outline. Click Save, and just click OK. Come back to your other one. You go File, Save As. Save that as a PNG, and I just saved this one as BBJH Bearhead. Click OK. Okay, now we're done with Photoshop right now and probably for the rest of this tutorial, so you can go ahead and close that. Save some of your RAM space and your scratch disk space for After Effects. So you're going to go ahead and open up After Effects. You're going to create a new project. and you're going to create a new composition. So you click right here, and it brings this up right here. You want to make sure that it's 1920 by 1080. Now you can do 4K if you want to, but everything that we've saved up to this point is only done in 1920 by 1080, so you may have some scaling issues if you do that. And we're going to title this BBJH logo stamp. Click OK. So here's your project panel. So we're going to go ahead and import that footage that we just created, and by footage, just the Bear Branch logo. So we're going to go to File, Import, File. We're going to scroll down and find them. So here's our BBJH Bear Head and BBJH outline. And you select multiple files by holding down Control as you click them, and click Import. So now the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to drag down our BBJH Bear Head PNG down here to our composition panel. And as you can see, it puts it on there. Now, I only have this at quarter resolution. That's why it looks pixelated like that. If I change this to full, it sharpens it up. I keep it at quarter though because it doesn't take as much memory and for your previews, and it renders a lot faster for your previews. Then we're going to do the same thing with the outline. Click it, and we're going to drag it down. And for this project, we're going to actually put that one on top of the Bear Head layer. As you can see, it's a little bit off. That's okay. You just click on your outline layer and you push the up arrow or whatever arrow you need to until it's in place. So at this point, we have both of our files on here, and now we get to start making it look pretty cool. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to click on our BBJH outline, and we're going to create what's called an auto traced layer. Now the way you do that is you click on it, you go to Layer and Auto Trace. And for the sake of this tutorial, we're going to go ahead and go here where it says Channel, and we're going to click on Alpha. It should generate a preview. I'm going to limit this. Let's see. I'll do Alpha. So I'm going to uncheck Apply to New Layers just so it'll be a little bit more simple and not has many layers on here. So click OK. And as you can see, it auto traced it all right here. So now we're going to go over here to our effects and presets. If that's not showing, you just go to Window and click on Effects and Presets, and it should show up over here. Go down to Saber, and you're going to take that and drag it directly on top of that layer. Okay, so now as you can see, we have our Saber layer right here, but it's over the top of our other picture, which is okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to tell this saber effect to make a mask over the outline so that it basically takes the shape of the outline. So in order to do that, we go over here to our effect control panel, and we go down here to where it says customize core, expand that, and where it says core type, you click on that and do layer masks. Okay, and now we have it taking the shape of the bear head outline. Now it is very, very bright, so you really are not able to see it very well. So you just come over here to your glow intensity. It's at 50%. Go ahead and scale that down to, let's just do about 18%. And that's what we have right now. Now, in order to make that red, it's very simple. You just make sure that you're clicked on BBJH outline down here. You go up to your glow color and change it to red and click OK. And there's our outline. Now, for the next thing, actually what we need to do first is we need to change the blending mode of this. So over here on your composition panel, you go over here to mode. We're going to go screen. Okay. Now what screen does is it basically makes everything that is black transparent, so you can see through it. Now we're going to do the same thing to the bear head portion. So we're going to click on that layer. We're going to go up here to Layer, Auto Trace. And this time, because it has a lot of blue in it, and that's what we're really going to try and highlight, we're going to change our channel to the blue channel. And as you can see, it gave us a preview over here. We're going to click OK. So same thing. So now everything right here is auto trace, and that's what's going to show up in our logo. So go back over here to Saber, bring it over here to bear head layer, and let go. And the same process. So right now it's only on the Saber mask. So you go over here, back into your effect controls. You click Customize Core, Core Type, Layer Mask. Okay, and same type of thing. You want to go ahead and bring your glow intensity down so where you can actually see what it is. And we're going to go ahead and change this to the blue that Bear Branch uses. Click OK. And then click over here somewhere, and now you have this. Now, This is cool looking, but if you look at it, if we do a preview by pushing the 0 on the number pad, it doesn't do anything. It just sits there. So let's add a little bit of motion to it. One thing you want to make sure to do for preview purposes is you want to make sure to change your resolution for your preview from full down to third or quarter. It looks pixelated here, but I promise the final product is full resolution. You may want to, on the outline, let's go back and let's knock it down to about 15% or so. That way the glow spread doesn't go all the way up here. We can also go to where it says glow spread and turn that down a little bit as well, so that everything is more compact in there like that. So now we're going to go into here and we're going to go ahead and make this have some motion to it. So we're going to go over here. Let's start with the outline first. We're going to click on the BBJH outline layer. We're going to make sure that our timeline, it's called a scrubber bar, is basically at the beginning. And we're going to go over here and we're going to go to where it says start offset. And we're going to be using what's called keyframes. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to drag this all the way up to 100. And we're going to click the stopwatch right next to it, which will start a keyframe. Now we'd have to determine how long we want our animation to last. So let's make it pretty short. Let's make it about 3 seconds. So drag it to about 3 seconds right here. Go back over to your start offset and drag it back to 0. And we're going to now we're going to do the same thing for the BBJH Bearhead logo file. So bring it back over here to the start. Make sure you select it on it. Go to start offset, go all the way up to 100. Click the stopwatch right next to it to start your keyframe. Bring your scrubber bar over here to where it's at the same point on the timeline. Go back over to your start offset and turn it back down to 0. So now we'll click over here so we can see it, and we're going to do a preview. And in order to do that, you push the 0 on the number pad, and here's what we have. So that's pretty cool. It gives you a little bit of motion to it, a little bit of animation to it. So it looks pretty cool. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and create the text to go underneath that says Bear Branch. So in order to create a text layer, you click on the T up here. It's your text tool, horizontal type tool, and you just click over here and select your font. Now, Bear Branch uses a font called Blocktastic. It's a free font from the website www.dafont.com. That's www.dafont.com. So we're going to go ahead, select that font, make sure it's the blue, and we're going to go ahead and start typing. So we'll just do Bear Branch. Now, we need to go ahead and center it up and make it a little bit bigger. So let's go over here to our Move tool and our Selection tool, and we're going to go ahead and resize it and get it nice and centered. Now we need to do the same thing that we did as far as auto tracing. So let's make sure that we're on our Bear Branch. Let's make sure that we're on our Bear Branch text layer, and we're going to go to Layer, Auto Trace, make sure it's on Alpha this time, and click OK. So let's do that again, and don't create a new layer. So Layer, Auto Trace, and I think it's going to create a new layer because it's text. So we'll just click OK. That's no problem at all. So as you can see, it actually created a new auto trace layer because it was a text layer. So we're just going to go ahead and use that layer instead of like we did down here where we merged them. So you just go to your Bear Branch text layer that we just created, and let's make it invisible. So you just click the eyeball icon next to it, and it makes it invisible. And so then you do the same thing we did earlier. We're going to go back over here. We're going to choose our Effects and Presets tab, and we're going to drag Saber on top of the auto traced Bear Branch layer, not the one that just says Bear Branch. So we're going to go over here and we're going to drag our Saber plugin over the auto trace Bear Branch layer. Make sure you don't put it on the Bear Branch layer, but the new auto traced Bear Branch layer. And it's the same process. We go to Customize Core, Core Type, Layer Mask. We're going to go ahead and drag our glow intensity down so we can actually see it. And we're going to make it that nice blue color. And click OK. So now this is what we have. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to do the same motion that we did on the other ones. So we go ahead and make sure we're on our auto traced bare branch. We're going to go up here to start offset, and we're going to go ahead and drag it all the way to 100. We're going to start our keyframe by clicking on the stopwatch next to start offset. Then we come down here and we're going to go ahead and drag our scrubber bar over to the same point on the timeline as our other two are. And we're going to go ahead and drag this back down to 0. So now what we need to do is change the blending mode. That's why you can't see anything on there. The way that we do that is you go over here where it says mode, and we're going to do the same thing we did over here and change it to screen. So we click on normal, change it to screen, and we're going to go ahead and do that on the same thing down here. So we click on normal, and let's change it to screen. Okay, so that's what we have right now. Looks pretty good. We're going to go ahead. So we're going to go ahead and do a preview, push number pad 0, and kind of see what we have. So that's what we have right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make it kind of fade back out, basically reverse what it did on our start offset. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over here to take our timeline and go to about 6 seconds. And we really just do the same things that we just did, just in reverse. And then we're actually going to use the end offset as opposed to the start offset. So we're going to go ahead and put our scrubber bar at 6, make sure that we're on our auto trace bare branch layer. That'll be the one we start off with. We're going to go to end offset, and we'll go ahead and start it at 100%. Click the stopwatch next to it to start our keyframe. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and do that on all of our layers. So let's go to our BBJH outline layer. Same thing, end offset, and our BBJH bare head logo, and click the stopwatch for a keyframe on that. Okay, and so now we're going to drag this over to about 8 seconds, and we'll make it kind of a quick exit. So let's go ahead and make sure we'll just start the layer we ended on BBJH bare head, and we're going to go back up to our end offset, and we're going to go ahead and turn it all the way back down to 0%, and do the same thing on our next layer. So on the BBJH outline, we're going to go to our end offset, drag that down, and on our auto trace bare branch, and we're going to drag that down. So now in order to do a preview, we just click over here. Let's go ahead and collapse this. We're going to click over here, and we're going to go ahead and start this from the beginning. So we go ahead and push the 0 on the number pad, and it'll generate a preview. So as you can see, we have a really nice basic logo sting right here that has a really nice transition in and a transition out. Now, one thing that you can do on here, and that we're going to do really quickly, is kind of change the appearance of the lights themselves. One thing that is just awesome about Video Copilot and the Saber plugin, for being free, there's a lot of stuff that you can do on it, and they give you some presets that you can change and just kind of mess around with, see what you like. So we're going to go over here to the bare branch bare head. Actually, let's go to the BBJH outline logo, and we're going to go up here to where it says preset. Click on that. We're going to give it kind of a cool look. So all these are free, brief changes to what very subtle changes, but it makes a big impact on it. So we'll just click on, let's do Ghostbuster. And we're going to change that from the bright green to the red of the outline. So as you can see, now it has a different look to it. And if we do a preview by pushing the 0 on the number pad, not only does it trace itself, but now it has a really cool smoke looking effect to it. For you nerds, it's Ghostbusters the Proton Pack, so it has kind of a electricity logo or look to it. We're going to do the same thing to the bare branch bare head layer as well, but let's use something different. Let's go to Arc Reactor and see how that looks. And as you can see, that's a little bit too intense for kind of what we're wanting to do. So let's go ahead and let's just go ahead and use the same one as we did for that. Let's try Ghostbuster, see how that looks. Change that to the blue and see how that looks. So that kind of gives it a totally different look. It's all up to you. Kind of depends on what the look is that you want to go for. So what I'm going to do for this video is I'm going to go ahead and we're just going to keep it simple. We're going to go back and we're going to do thin on that one, and we're going to make that red again. And we're going to do the same thing for this one. Actually, let's make this one thin, and then let's make the outline the arc reactor. Put that as red. Turn the intensity down on it a little bit. We bring the glow spread up, it kind of lights up the background a little bit, and let's see how that looks. There we go, that's a little better. And we're going to go do the same thing on our text as well. So let's go ahead, let's go up here and click on preset again, make sure that you're on the auto traced layer, and let's kind of look and see what they have here. It looks pretty cool. For you Harry Potter fans, it's Patronus. So let's go ahead and use that one. Then we'll go ahead and change it to our nice blue that we've been using. Click OK. Let's turn the intensity down just a little bit on that, and let's bring the glow spread up a little bit and the glow bias as well. So now here's our product. We're going to go ahead and hit number pad 0 for a preview. As you can see, it has a totally different look to it, gives it a little bit more personality to it. So it just looks really cool. Now, one of the things that you can do is if you want it to stay there a little bit longer, you can go and you can pull these keyframes and move them over a little bit so it lasts a little bit longer. But for this video, we're just going to go ahead and leave it as a short 8-second logo. And so now it's time to go ahead and export it. We're going to go ahead and now it's time to export it. We're going to go ahead and send it to the render queue, and then that way we can export it, bring it into Premiere to finish everything up. So we want to make sure that we're on the correct file. We want to go ahead and make it short so it doesn't have all this blank space on the end. So you come over here to your work area. We're going to drag it to right here, and we're going to go Composition, Add to Render Queue. We're going to rename it as BBJH Logo Sting Final, hit save, and we're going to hit render. And this will probably take about 15 minutes or so. And then once it's done, we can go ahead and bring it into Premiere. So now we have exported from After Effects. We're going to go ahead and open up Adobe Premiere Pro. We're going to create a new project. We're going to go ahead and call this BBJH Logo Sting. Click OK. And once this loads up, we're going to go ahead and begin to import our files. So now that's open, we're going to go ahead and import our file that we exported from Photoshop. We're going to go File, Import, and we put it in our F drive. And it's going to be this BBJH Logo Sting Final. As you can see, it's a pretty good file size. That's a little bit over a gig just for that little 10-second logo sting. So we're going to go ahead and open it. And we're going to drag it over here to our timeline. Now, as you can see, it fits in the screen. We're looking at it at full resolution, so everything's good. So we could go ahead and export this and be done with it, call it good. But we're going to go ahead and add some sound effects to it, make it just a little bit better. So we're going to go ahead and add some sound effects to this just to kind of make it sound a little, give a little bit of a little more spark to it, make it sound a little bit cooler, a little more dramatic. So I'm going to be using a plugin pack or a file pack by Video Copilot. It's called Motion Pulse. Now this is not free. You do need to buy this one, but you get all kinds of sound effects and stuff like that with it. And so it's pretty cool. It's well worth the money. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go use this file called risers tech _4. I'm gonna bring it in. We import our audio file into it. We're gonna go ahead and drag it over to our timeline. And it actually ends up fitting pretty well, which is good because that eliminates more sound editing, which that does take quite a long time if you're really trying to get things to sync up. But it does sync up pretty well. So we're going to go ahead and do a preview on this. So we're going to push spacebar. And there we have it. So it's not an absolutely amazing logo sting. So we're gonna go ahead and export it. So we go make sure that you are clicked in here and that your timeline box is blue. We're gonna go to File, Export, Media. We're gonna leave it as our H.264 codec. We're gonna go ahead and title this as BBJH Logo Sting Final. Click Save. And we're going to make sure that our use maximum render quality box is checked, as well as our export video and export audio box is checked. Now, if you look down here at the estimated file size, it's only 10 megabytes, which is a big difference from what we had earlier. When we exported it from After Effects, the video alone was 1.2 gigs. So it really does compress it down and make it a usable file. And so we're going to go ahead and hit export. And this should only take a matter of 15 seconds or so. When it compresses it by that much, it really doesn't take that long to compress it down. So once it's done, we're going to go ahead and minimize that. Switch over so I can actually hear this. And we're going to go ahead and preview the file. And we'll go ahead and do it one more time just because it was kind of jerky there at the beginning because it was trying to load it. So we'll go launch it. And there you have it. So we're going to go ahead and call that one good and add it to the finished project file. So guys, I hope y'all really enjoyed this tutorial. Leave a comment. Let me know kind of what y'all might want to see over the course of these next few weeks. I'd love to be able to dive into some stuff that y'all are interested in. Hope everybody's staying safe. Please feel free to share this video with whoever you want, however you want. And hopefully y'all are learning some things. I think it's a really cool thing to learn something new and just branch out a little bit, get out of your comfort zone, and learn some things. Take this time that we're all off to better yourself and to try and learn something new. And just remember, be kind to everybody because we're all in this together. So I hope everyone has a great rest of your Thursday, and hopefully we'll see y'all tomorrow or possibly on Saturday. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.